In old spiritual paradigm, we used to be really all about telling people, you need to become compatible with your life. You need to align in such a way that your patterns feel good in their daily experience. And that's still true in that it's nice. It's nice when a person is living a life that's optimized to their strengths, to their needs, to their desires. But what we're being open to today is the very simple universal fact that even what our mind judges as compatibility or incompatibility with where you think you should be, because it would feel better and more flowier if you were there, even that is a pattern. May you be open to the possibility that not only is it never too late to fulfill your purpose, but you're also always in your purpose. Whether you feel it and sense it or not is an entirely different matter. But may you be open to the possibility that it's never too late to feel the perfection of your present moment purpose. Let me explain. So check it out. When we're in our pattern self, which is often called the ego in the spiritual community, just for complete clarity, when we're identifying as this temporal self, like, oh, I'm this hair, I'm this face, I'm this age, I'm this body, I'm these thoughts, I'm these emotions, like that is me. When we're in it to that degree, and that's the vantage point we're living through, the patterned perspective, purpose gets all muddled. Because what we tend to do when we're living in the patterns is we weaponize the patterns. We believe that we can control them, wrongfully so. And we try to manipulate life and manipulate ourselves into aligning with what our patterns tell us are the correct path and purpose for us. And I want to be clear here. I don't mean what society tells you. I don't mean what your parents tell you. I mean that everyone's patterns has a vision of what they should be. It's a judgment. It's born of the mind. And it could come from a dream. It could say, I'm meant to be an actor, a producer, a writer. I'm meant to be on stages. I'm meant to write books. I'm meant to influence. I'm meant to change this world. I'm meant to be a pastor, a preacher, a teacher. So it could come from that very positive, heart-oriented place. On the other hand, the patterns could also be aligned beautifully with what society and the family says. I'm meant to work in corporate. I'm meant to rock that 9 to 5. I'm meant to be an entrepreneur. I'm meant to start a company, be a CEO. We're not judging the nobility of what every individual pattern believes that it's supposed to be. We're simply acknowledging that every pattern already has a built-in belief about what is meant to do. For some individuals, their pattern is quite objective. It recognizes what their patterns are most compatible with in terms of how they flow, what they bring to the world, how they elucidate others, the best use of their gifts. Other patterns, that means other individuals, don't fully have that objective perspective. So they will cram and force their patterns into situations that don't bring out their best, that exhaust them, that deplete them, that don't make the most of their gifts, of their natural talents. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is some patterns are oriented toward compatibility with their purpose, and other patterns are oriented toward incompatibility with their purpose. What do I mean when I say purpose? I mean the best display, the most expansive, healing, blissful alignment that their patterns can inhabit. That is purpose. So what have we established here so far? Some folks think they know what their purpose should be. Other folks don't know what their purpose should be. Some people feel good about what they do. Others feel bad about what they do. But ultimately, all of that is patterning. In old spiritual paradigm, we used to be really all about telling people, you need to become compatible with your life. You need to align in such a way that your patterns feel good in their daily experience. And that's still true in that it's nice. It's nice when a person is living a life that's optimized to their strengths, to their needs, to their desires. But what we're being open to today is the very simple universal fact that even what our mind judges as compatibility or incompatibility with where you think you should be, because it would feel better and more flowier if you were there, even that is a pattern. In other words, it is part of at least half of this human population's journey to feel incompatible with their life. And in this beautiful, miraculous way, that is their purpose. From Spirit's point of view, where you are right now is your purpose. Reality as it is right now for you is your purpose. Whether that contains suffering or struggling or pain or frustration, anxiety, depression, confusion, loss, loneliness. That is your purpose. Or you wouldn't be there. We get all up in our minds judging the present moment and saying, well, this doesn't feel good and I don't like it. Therefore, it's not my purpose. That is the patterns in us, judging the patterns they see around them. May you be open to the possibility that you are never not in your purpose. Transmute those double negatives, baby. May you be open to the possibility that you are always and have always been in your purpose. No matter how much your mind screams at you otherwise, because it judges and it layers on guilt and it keeps flexing this phony idea of free will. That you should have opted out of this by now. You should be doing better by now. You should be more aligned with your purpose by now. We kiss it. And we let it sail off. Knowing that's just the pattern of our mind. Some people have that pattern. Some people don't. And it doesn't make either of those two groups any more in or out of their purpose than the other. It's hilarious, isn't it, my love? This whole time you've been thinking you had to catch up to something. Do something. Make it all count. Make it all matter. That when you get up for your life review in the afterlife, the force is going to tell you, that was a life wasted. Oh, my love. If there's any force other than a divine white light of love waiting for you, that's just another pattern. And yeah, in this life, there will be patterns that are incompatible with one another. But that doesn't mean that wasn't perfectly preordained to help expand the consciousness of all, to help seed awareness into every tiny fiber of the tapestry of this human third-dimensional experience. Incompatibility is perfection in its own way, and often facilitates even more rapid expansion than perfectly flowing, easy compatibility. So when we pray for our purpose, we have to understand we're praying because we're identifying with the patterns. And we're judging what we're already doing and what we're already being as wrong. We're trying to get away from the moment. But the moment is your perfect purpose, your perfect purpose. Alalala. Could never be anything else. So, my sweet love, your final burning question. Where does that leave you if you feel misaligned? And you're convinced deep in your soul of souls that you could be doing something better, different, or bigger, that you're settling somehow. If that's how you feel, my love, I invite you to step out just for a moment of that vantage point. Practice stepping into the vantage point that identifies as the spirit animating the patterns. And from there, put some arms around yourself. Say to yourself, I hear you. I see you. I love you. You've done nothing wrong. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And by accepting this present moment and the reality of it, and sitting in the trust that I am the white light of consciousness, not the pre-written pattern, you will gently, undoubtedly, gloriously bloom beyond your current circumstance. That's a promise. Because what it all gets down to in the end is, will any so-called pattern be brave enough to believe that by loving itself, accepting its moment, and witnessing all that it thinks, sees, hears, tastes, feels, smells, all sensations, are holy. The pattern that is brave enough to accept that, and accept that this present moment is its purpose, is the pattern that becomes the servant of the divine. And then eventually shifts from feeling like servant master to one and the same. May you be open, my love. Until we meet again, I am sending you all of the love that I've got. It is always more. It is never less. Because you, my sweet, sweet friend, you are so very worthy of it.